You're watching a classic episode of Bass Pro Shops Outdoor World Television.
It's a land rich in outdoor traditions. Settlers have long harnessed the abundant native resources to sustain life. Even today, the Finger Lakes region of central New York remains rich in land, trees, water, and more. To celebrate the unique nature of the Finger Lakes, Bass Pro Shops in Auburn, New York houses a treasure of displays and outdoor memorabilia. But as we'll soon see, the beauty of the store goes far deeper than mounts hanging on the walls. For now, Tracker Pro Team member Woo Daves is here to gear up for bass fishing in thick vegetation on nearby Cayuga Lake.
Hey, Dick, how you doing?
Good, Will. How you doing today?
Fine. What's happening up here on the Finger?
The people that work at Bass Pro are a great source of information about outdoor activities in the area and the gear you'll need to make your visit a success.
How you doing?
Good. How are you?
Fine. Getting ready to go fishing. Got a few items here.
Woo has been to this area before, but with this much H2O around, there's always new water to wet a line. And where the water looks like this, there's usually fish. The Finger Lakes are ringed with wetlands. These marshy areas act as filters to keep the deep glacier-formed lakes clean and healthy. As a balanced ecosystem, they also provide habitat for abundant waterfowl. There are also fish factories that allow each new hatch a place to feed and grow, eventually moving into the main lakes. All you have to do is figure out what the big boys like to eat and give it to them, with a little hidden surprise.
Lake Cayuga is noted for grass, and there's grass beds all over the place, and everybody knows grass and bass go together. And Bass Pro's come out with a tube weight called Woo's tube weight, and it's actually made out of rubber with ground up tungsten in it. All I like to do, I like to take a little scent, just give it a little hit there. Take your weight, just insert it in. It slides right up into the end of the tube. Just poke it up to the end of the tube. Then we take a must-have tube hook, which is about a 3 or 4/0 special design for tubes. And when you bring your tube hook in, it goes right through the end of the weight also. That helps to hold your hook in. Then you bring the hook around behind the weight and it comes out. On these tube hooks, you bring them all the way through. They're designed so that they won't hang up. You can actually just kind of hide the point on there a little bit. Now what this does, not only does it hold your hook in when you're fishing grass, but it makes your tube fall in a kind of a real natural looking, instead of a straight dive, you get more of a mental looking effect. I'll show you here in the water in just a second. But we'll drop it in and you can see how it falls down real natural like. As you can see when it hits the water, it just falls with a real natural, kind of a minnow type swimming action. And I feel like it helps you get a lot more bites. Oh yeah, look at the markings on that fish. That's a pretty one there. That's one thing you don't see down south. Look at all the black markings on it. Is that pretty or what? That's just a pretty fish, and you don't see that down south, but take them all day long. He's about 2 1/4 pounds, real fat, chunky, sitting right on the edge of the grass. We'll let him go.
Today's gear includes Woo Dave's XPS Extreme Series rods. Woo's baitcaster is a pro qualifier, and for lighter line applications, he switches to a Bass Pro Shop spinning reel. Both reels are spooled with fresh strand Magnathin line. Woo's tube weights get the bait down to business, and Mustad 3 and 4/0 hooks let the Bass Pro Shops XPS series baits bite back. Ray Marine Digital Fish Finders round out Woo's Nitro 929. Woo Daves is working the grass beds of Cayuga Lake. He's been to this area before, and being a Bass Masters Classic champion, knows his way around prime fishing spots.
You know, one thing about fishing these northern lakes, there's a lot of shoals on them and a lot of points, and they tend to mark them with pin buoys, what we call pin buoys, which are little buoys. And if you're riding down the lake, and like this is a perfect example, you come along, you see these pin buoys going out like that, and you can see them cutting back in. You know that it's a long, shallow point that runs out into the lake. And there's probably a grass bed out off the end of that, or a drop-off. And that's a good place to go to start looking for fish, you know, if it's your first time on the lake or anything, because just about every one of these points will hold fish. You know, it's like reading the bank where a point comes down or something, but this one's already marked for you and shows you right where you need to stop and fish. And it's a good place to, like I say, to start if you're coming to a new lake.
A great way to find out what the bass like is talking to local fishermen and guides. Then it's a matter of finding the recommended bait or trying out the presentation yourself. Of course, you can get all this by stopping at the local Bass Pro Shops, which in this case is just down the road in Auburn. There's a reaction common to visitors of Bass Pro Shop stores. They look up. Every store is a reflection of the region and the people that call it home. Well before a store is built, a team of researchers and architects take the local history and natural beauty of the region into account when designing each store. Then a skilled team of craftsmen and women create the elements for a store that offers an adventure into the unique soul of a region. Staircases are hewn from logs and pre-assembled before they're shipped to the store. Wood carvings yield a menagerie of critters. Coppersmiths fashion lanterns and other decorative items with skill and care. And the ironworkers apply heat and a skilled hammer to fashion wonderful works of art seen in fire screens, railings, and chandeliers.
Come on to Daddy. Come on, come on, come on. Oh, yeah. Right off that buoy rock. That's like I see. Man, nice fish. Woo. That's a pretty one there, boy. That is a pretty one. Yeah. On to Daddy. Oh, broke my line. There you go. What a fish, what a fish. That's what you look for in the tournament right there. That was about a 4.5. Big fat hog. Got the sport out of him. Thank you. I like that. That's why you don't lift them in line and like this when you're in a tournament. You reach down and lift them. But when you're fat like me, I'll just go ahead and pull them in by the line. Don't get off me, Daddy. Oh, yeah. There you go. That's a fat little dude for no longer than he is. Yeah, this fish, we fished up shallow and couldn't get nothing going, so we moved back out in about 10 foot of water and found two big thick grass beds with a big hole out in the middle where the wind was blowing right down through that hole and just got out in the scattered grass. Started throwing that Z-nail down in there and it didn't take long. That's another pretty fish. Give him a little kiss and we'll let him go.
The Finger Lakes region is a unique place steeped in outdoor traditions going back for generations. The waters run deep and still offer a glimpse of the days gone by. Cayuga Lake is only one in a string of 11 water gems spread across the middle of New York, and the land and the people surrounding them make it a special place indeed.